a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Sportsball Fall Week 4. Here's Disney's Miracle. Trailers for 2004 movies. I feel like I've been saying this for every single movie in Sportsball Fall, but this has to be one of the final Disney releases on VHS. Ad for Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan, coming soon to Disney DVD and VHS. And wow, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Trailer for Teacher's Pet. Was this the worst Disney movie ever made so far, or was it Toothless? It was this one. Toothless had that sweet montage. Okay, feature presentation. Let's put an end to Sportsball Fall. Disney Pictures and Mayhem Pictures presents. We start with a little montage of news events in the late 70s, and this is honestly already pretty cool. This is one of the most ambitious intros I've actually seen in a Disney movie in a long time. We end in 1978, and we get the title screen, Miracle. We meet Herb Brooks, and he's being brought into a meeting with some top hockey officials. They want a new style of hockey, a hybrid of Soviet and Canadian hockey. All these actors, like he wants that. All these actors look familiar or are supposed to look like people who are famous. Herb wants to put together a new team and train them to beat the best team in the world, and they all laugh at Herb. Now Herb says, I could take down the Soviets. Okay, Herb gets home and he asks his wife, where are the kids? And she goes, I gave them all away. And then he sees a costume and his wife signed them up for a costume party. She asks about the job interview, how it went, and he goes, I'm not the guy for the job. I know this story. Hold on. I know sports things. Yeah, they want to beat the Soviet team in the 1980 Olympics. Oh my God, this is like one of the 7 or 8 sports stories I'm kind of familiar with. Look at me. Herb gets a phone call at the costume party. He got the job. They want him to use his crazy hybrid hockey vision and put together a team that can beat the Soviets. We are off to team tryouts. I love the look of this movie. It's dark, it's 70s, it's not 2004. And what actual year is this? Wikipedia says Miracle is a 2004 American sports film directed by Gavin O'Connor and written by Eric Guggenheim. It is about the U.S. hockey men's ice hockey team whose gold medal victory in the 1980 Winter Olympics over the heavily favored seasoned Soviet team was dubbed the Miracle on Ice. Kurt Russell stars as head coach Herb Brooks with Patricia Clarkson and Noah Emmerich in supporting roles. I mean, spoilers. But okay, this is awesome. Okay, there's more. Miracle was released on February 6, 2004. It grossed $64.5 million on a $28 million budget. It received positive reviews with Russell's performance garnering the most praise from critics. Nice. Full points for making this look like 1978 footage. Herb watches a gaggle of kids at tryouts, and after the first day, he's already picked his 26 kids he wants. He runs down the 26 names. He sends everyone else home. And everyone's pissed at him already. He's in trouble because he picked the 26 by himself without consulting anyone else or forming committees and having a bunch of think tank meetings. He says to his superiors, hey, you hired me to do a job, and I'm doing it. Oh my God, don't fear the Reaper plays as the boys have beers at the bar. There's drama between a couple of the players. They got history together. They were in some other high-stakes game months or years earlier, and a cheap shot cost one of the guys a sports trophy or something, but we jump out of that. We jump to practice. In practice, these two immediately fight, and Herb says, you want to settle old scores? This is not the place. We are a team now. After the practice, player runs up to Coach Herb and goes, my dad lost his job, and his mom really wanted me to play, or my mom really wants me to play on this team, and Herb is like, you're all numbers to me. The assistant coach, this guy, asks a mutual friend if Herb is always such an asshole, and he goes, no, this is new. And the assistant coach says, well, he has 26 players who hate his guts. And this guy says, well, maybe if they all hate him, they won't hate each other. Bing! That right there is how you lead. At home, he's watching some old hockey videos, and his naggy wife is on his case for some reason. He's building a Olympic hockey team to do the impossible. And she's like, can you pick up Johnny after school tomorrow? Like, lady, come on. We find out that Herb was on the 1960 Olympic team himself, and he blew it, I guess. Back to practice, and we start talking about the Coneheads from Saturday Night Live for some reason. I guess to remind us, it's 1978. Assistant coach is lollygagging around, and Herb goes, you got something on your mind? And assistant coach Craig says, the usual, you're pushing them too hard, but Herb disagrees. During the game, Herb stands behind the players on the bench, as the coaches do, but he's listening to these guys talk about the hot ladies in the crowd and not really focusing, and he is getting pissed. So he doesn't let them go to the locker room at the end of the game. No, he makes them run drills. He lays into them. You think you can win on talent alone? You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. You think you can play a Norwegian team, tie them, and then go to the Olympics and win? The name on the front of that jersey is a hell of a lot more important than the name on the back. Get that through your heads. He keeps making them run drills, like forever. Like again and again. Blow the whistle, tweet. Blow the whistle, tweet. Over and over. Time rolls on. He is just punishing them. Again, tweet, again, tweet, again, tweet, again, tweet. I'm getting goosebumps from this scene. Okay, the rink people, the people that work at the arena, want to go home. Herb doesn't give a f***. Again, tweet, again, tweet, again, tweet. Finally, the rink manager turns the lights off, but Herb is like, f*** you, keep going. Again, tweet, again, tweet. They're running these in the dark. This is amazing. Quote, you have to be uncommon, he screams at these kids. Now Craig, the assistant coach, won't even blow the whistle anymore. He's like, come on, Herb. And finally it comes to an end when Herb asks one of the guys, what team do you play for? Instead of saying his own original hometown team, he's all like half dead. He goes, I play for the United States of America. And he's like, that's what I wanted to hear. You guys can all go. Herb says no one has ever skated as hard as the Soviet team, and everyone is scared of them. These boys will skate as hard as them and not be scared of them. Gah! Training montage. I just realized it's one of these guys is Jesse What's-His-Face. 3 months until opening ceremonies, and suddenly Herb brings in a new kid. We hear a story about Herb and how he was on the team in the 60s, and 1 week before the big game, they cut him. They replaced him. So everyone on the team is like, he'll cut any of us at the last minute. He'll do whatever he takes to win. This is like in his brain now. We hear the actual game is on now in jeopardy because of political turmoil in the real world. Now he's at his wife, and she's like, don't ever criticize me for caring about you. We're back at practice again. He's really raining the hate down on these players now. One guy thinks he's going to get cut. Some of the boys want to have words with Herb, so Herb's like, oh, he gets off the bus. And they're like, it's about the new kid. And Herb isn't having any of it. They're like, we're a family, Herb. We've been working so hard. Now you bring this guy in. He's like, f*** you. And they're like, but we're a family. He's like, f*** you and f*** your family. And then he's like, you know what, fine. If you guys want to lose, I'll send the new kid home and save your feelings. We jump to Christmas. The boys are giving Coach a whip as a gift, which is pretty funny. He gives no speech. He bounces. Another montage and ends when he realizes he missed his own family's Christmas. Assistant coach tells this kid with a killer mustache that Herb wants to see him, and it's sad in the dressing room. Ralph knows he's being cut. He's being sent home. He goes and sits in coach's room, and Herb's all, we got 21 men. We need to get back to 20. You're a hell of a hockey player. It's not you, it's me. But this doesn't change that. Bye-bye. The game is back on. We jump to the big game. Well, not the big game, but it's still a big game. It's USA against the Soviet Union something, and we hear the end of the U.S. national anthem. And okay, as a proud Canadian, let me say, I love Canada. I love the Canadian national anthem. Fills me with pride. But the American national anthem, untouchable. That march to war makes me want to kick down doors and flip tables every single time. We get ready, and it's just like the warm-up contest, like a pre-game game. I don't know how hockey works or how hockey Olympics works. Regardless, Team USA gets dominated and overpowered. The Soviets score in record time. The U.S. players are arguing. They get murdered 10-3 in this game, and Herb has to do a press conference after. And one of his main guys has a torn ligament. He's out, and Herb has to send him back home. And out of nowhere, we have a real moment where this child is like laying there crying with his blown out knee. This is all bad, and Herb's wife was right, and Herb is just eating an unimaginable amount of right now. I will take this time to point out, though, the camera work in this is phenomenal. This roaming handheld feel, that I adore. Some of this might be actual like original footage. I can't tell. That's how good it is. Herb now rains pain on his goalie. He tells the goalie, "You're out." Goalie replies, "Hey, that's my net." Herb says, "They scored 10 goals. Tonight it was everybody's net." Damn, Herb has zero chill. Goalie tells Herb, "I don't care about your meanness and I don't care about your dumb quotes that no one on this team gets." It's the team is in shambles and it's game day again. Is this for the Olympics or another game? I don't know. The guy with a torn knee isn't cut after all. For some reason, Herb wants to have a nice moment with this guy. I just noticed this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I'm not complaining for once. It's now Sweden versus the USA, and USA is getting killed again on the ice. Another guy has a leg contusion, and Herb wants to make him play on it. He goes into the locker room, he flips the table, he tells the guy with the leg contusion, he's gonna get your gear back on. He calls him a candy ass, and like, watch out for Herb, master of reverse psychology, because this worked. This guy with a bad contusion is pissed, and he's ready to go out there and kill the Swedes on his one good leg. Oh my God. They're down 2-1 against the Swedes, and they score and they tie it up. It's the Olympic Games, and we go to a montage. They beat Czechoslovakia 7-3. USA versus Norway. They beat Norway. They do media. USA versus Romania. Coach won't let the press talk to any of the players. They accuse him of wanting to keep the spotlight on himself, and Herb just smiles and walks away. USA picks up another win. Herb is having a moment at Lake Placid watching his kids skate, knowing he's missing out on family shit. But old Herb, he's really thinking about hockey. And then his wife brings him hot cocoa. Weird. Okay. He's got a telegram from someone in Texas who told him to, quote, "Beat those commie bastards," end quote. Herb is starting to feel the pressure. He tells his wife that he has the best USA boys and they don't match up against the Soviets. And his wife goes, "You might want to keep that quote out of the press conference tomorrow." She says there's no shame in losing. And Herb knows that's loser talk. It's game day. They're working on that guy's busted knee. Assistant Craig says, "Get ready, jersey on." It's pre-game dressing room jitters and meditation from the players. And while Herb sits in his office going down the roster and looking at his watch, Herb is scheming. This is good. I can feel like the pre-game tension. And I don't even play sports. I just feel like puking watching this 2004 movie moment. Suddenly Herb pops out of his chair and he marches like Mr. McMahon into the dressing room. Time for sports movie Braveheart speech, and here we go. You know, with great power comes great responsibility and all that. And I can't even make fun of this. This is a great speech. I want to kick over my TV and take on the 1980 Soviet Union hockey team myself. We get the Armageddon kids walking to the ice. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm feeling this in my bones in ways I don't usually feel these Disney movies. Again, the camera work is just incredible. The on-ice shots make you forget that this is a movie. It feels like you're there. It feels like you're on the ice. The announcer says there's a lot of people here who don't know the difference between a blue line and a clothesline. They are here to be patriotic and to stand up for their country. Goosebumps. They're playing against a team who have dominated hockey for the last 15 years. Everybody knows it's a lost cause. There's an uncalled slash and the Soviets score. Boo! I know how this ends. I know this is a movie, but I'm on the edge of my seat cheering for Team USA. USA scores, they tie it up. Goal by the guy whose leg is being held together by tape and prayers. Soviets, they get another goal. Textbook Soviet passing play, we are told by the announcers. The USA chants are shaking the arena. They're shaking my TV. I'm not lying when I say this may be the most invested I've ever been watching a Disney movie. I'm not even a sports guy. I'm not a sports guy at all. I don't care. But they tie it up with 1 second left in the first period. Holy hell, I am sweating. Soviet coach is pissed. He tries to claim the time ran out before the goal. They check it. Nope. Goal stands. It is tied going into the second. They pull the Soviet goalie for the second period. They got the backup in. Damn, that is a ballsy move. Soviets crush the USA goalie and they score. Our goalie is down and out. USA's, I'm not part of this. But then he gets up. He's like, no, I'm good. Let's go. Let's take this game. Period 3. Soviets still up 3-2. Finally, Soviets get a slashing penalty called them. USA can't capitalize on the one-man advantage, though. One power play chance left. Give them the flying J with 4 seconds left in the power play. USA ties it up. It's 3-3. I'm watching a 2004 VHS tape in 2025, and I'm about to have a an aneurysm. Okay, Soviet coach is telling secrets to one of the players. They sub in Johnny No-Knee. He gets the pick and he pockets it. USA takes the lead. 4-3. Soviet coach looks like he has a plan. One of these USA boys is about to die, aren't they? There is 10 minutes left to play in the third period. I am near heart attack levels, folks. Again, I don't really care about hockey. I don't care about sports, but I'm invested in this like there is no tomorrow. 5 minutes. I need to press pause and walk around the basement. My heart is racing. 3:19 seconds left. This footage is incredible. This is all gold. This is one of the greatest produced movies I've ever seen from Disney, or really from any company that makes me care this much. I'm 100% invested. Are they going to pull the goalie? There's 2:17 left. It's coming. Like, what are you doing? 1:33. Soviet goalie is still in. Can you not pull the goalie in the Olympics? Like, pull your goalie, or you know what? Don't. I'm not cheering for you. Don't pull your goalie. Oh my, I know how this ends. 1 minute left. Do they tie it up? Does it go into OT? I don't know. I expect every shot the Soviets take, I expect it to go in. There's 18 seconds left. The announcer screams, "Do you believe in miracles?" They win. I knew they won, and this still felt like such a punch in the face. This was amazing. I am running to YouTube to see real footage of this game. I need a goddamn cigarette. Okay, the celebration is something else. Just like, there is nothing that I can say here to portray the emotion this sports Disney movie manages to pull off here. Oh my God. Coach goes into the bowels of the building by himself and he cheers and he cries, and hell yeah, he does. 2 days later, we're told USA beats Finland to take the gold medal in the Olympics. This movie made me understand sports a little more, to be completely honest. The movie's dedicated to the real coach who died right before principal photography began. And then we end with f***ing Dream On by Aerosmith during the credits as they show the actors and who the real life players were with their names and their stats. Oh! This is one of the best Disney and movies I've ever seen. Holy cow. Just 11 out of 10.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.
Okay, Macy.
I'm still Jenny from the block.